and we only get one chance to live it right. Yeah, we only get one chance, but that's alright, 'cause this is the life. This is the life.
Hello, I'm Meredith Baxter, and I'd like to welcome you to A Better Life. We've put together this program to help you help yourself by providing in brief, entertaining capsules the informative tools you need to make a better life for yourself and for those you care about. It seems there's always something that could use some improvement in all of our lives, and it usually starts right here at home.
Investments in your home can add value, and we found an expert that can show you how investments in real estate can make you real money now and create wealth for your future. Meet Roger Salam, a local real estate guru that can give anyone the opportunity to create financial independence. This self-made multimillionaire knows exactly what it takes to succeed. Being successful is something Roger Salam knows all about. So what sets Roger's training apart from everyone else?
I make it fun, not just informative. Fun. The seminar is really fun. I create the camaraderie, create the team, create the follow-up.
My wife Margaret and I attended his boot camp weekend program, and we were so impressed afterwards that we put together the following letter, and I'm going to read from that. Roger Salam's boot camp is phenomenal. What a wonderful presenter. We now have a clearer plan of what we need to do and the training resources to refer to. Roger is grounded in true values. He's good at what he does, and it is a true privilege to know and work with him.
Welcome to Real Estate Success Secrets. This is Roger Salam. I'm really glad that you're here, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this. But before I get into any of the presentation, I want to share with you one little secret to getting the most out of this presentation. Shut that little voice inside of you that says, I know. Because I know is the killer of learning. Have you ever listened to a tape or read a book or watched a DVD the second or third or fourth time and found something completely new? It happens to all of us. The truth is the author in the middle of the night didn't come and add more stuff just for you. The truth is you didn't see it before because you weren't ready. In personal development, there's a saying called when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Perhaps this time, you may have tried real estate before. You may be first time brand new to real estate, so listen to it with what I call a beginner's mind and shut that little voice saying, I know. So let me tell you what I'm going to be talking to you about. I'm going to give you a little bit about my background so that you know who I am and my background and why you should listen to me. Then I'm going to talk to you about why real estate, why choose real estate as a vehicle for financial freedom, and then I'm going to talk to you about modeling success, and I'm going to have broken down about 8 sections. So number 4 is empowering belief. And this is the foundation for your real estate success. And then I'm going to give you the 5 F's of real estate investing and give you exactly what they are. And number 6, I'm going to give you how you can find deals on demand, literally on demand. And number 7, this is 2014. The real estate game has changed. And I've been doing real estate since 1999 when I bought my first house. So I'm going to share with you the new paradigm for real estate investing. And finally, I'm going to give you exactly what the title says, the real secret for your real estate success. So let's begin. Before I begin, I want to give you my creed. Every morning when I wake up, this is the first thing that I say to myself as part of my morning ritual. And this is my personal creed. To build true confidence through knowledge in the mind, honesty in the heart, and strength in the body. To keep friendship with one another and to build a strong and happy community. Never fight to achieve selfish ends, but to develop might for right. Grandmaster June Rhee, one of my mentors, gave me this creed, I believe back in 1991 when I first joined Tony Robbins. And if you don't know who Grandmaster June Rhee is, you can Google him. He is literally the guy who brought martial arts to the West. And he's an incredible mentor. And he gave me this creed. He looked at me and I fell in love with this, every word of it. And I adopted it as my creed. And everywhere I speak, I share this. So you can see it. If you want to adopt it, feel free. And live your life every day with this creed. So that's my creed. And my professional background, I went to UCLA and right after college got in sales. And long story short, I joined my professional speaking career back in 89, 90 after UCLA with the world famous inspirational and motivational speaker Tony Robbins. And you can see that was back in This photograph was early 90s, 94 I believe, with Tony. And I used to be on the road 48 weeks out of the year traveling and sharing the personal development and Tony's message of success. And a few years back, you can see the difference between back then and now. Both Tony and we got, I guess, a little bit more mature. And if you don't know who Tony Robbins is, you owe it to yourself once in your lifetime to see a master communicator live. He's the most incredible, he's one of my mentors, early mentors that has shaped me as an individual who I am today. So after Tony Robbins, I literally jumped into the internet bandwagon, and I was, they used to call me like Joe Internet. If Al Gore didn't invent the internet, that would be me. And so one thing, I haven't done very many things, but when I do something, I do it 100%. It's not half-hearted. So when I did Tony Robbins, I literally did it. When I did internet, and I was part of an early adopter of the internet and part of a startup that we took it from nothing to 2 billion in market cap. I was a dot-com millionaire, so to say, and unfortunately, the dot-com days, in one day, I went from a dot-com to dot-gone when the stock market crashed. And I sometimes joke that when the stock market crashed, I slept like a baby, woke up every hour and cried. And literally, I thought life was over. Everything I had just, those of you who understand margin call, zero would have been a really great day. I went way, way down, and I didn't know what to do. Late night, I can't fall asleep. I was literally flipping through channels, wondering how am I gonna get out of this hole? Life is over, kind of you go down into a negative spiral. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, there's a guy on late night TV. He comes on and he says, you can make money in real estate with no money, no credit. I said, I qualify. And then I went to that, he was coming to town, and I went to his seminar, and that's one of my real estate early first mentor, Russ Whitney. And today, fast forward, Russ's latest book, I'm on the back cover giving him an endorsement for his latest book. So it's a wonderful, and he's a friend and mentor still. So my real estate success, a lot of credit goes to him. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how I got started. Like most people do things for inspiration or desperation. In my case, it was desperation. I had no other way. And when somebody said real estate and you can make money, and I went to his seminar, and right from there, I took off and never looked back. Me and my partner, we owned over 500 houses in the greater Tampa Bay area, and until the 2008, 2009 crash, and lost it and rebuilding. So a lot of ups and downs with that. But now, I'm going to share with you, even through all those ups and downs, why real estate? Why choose real estate as a vehicle for financial freedom? And the truth is, 7 out of 10 millionaires in this country became millionaire from what? You guessed it, real estate. And so why real estate? Perhaps nobody ever shared with you the way I'm going to share with you, because one of my mentors gave me this. It says, real estate is the most ideal business. Real estate investing is the most ideal business, and here is why. And ideal is an acronym. I is for income. Real estate can provide you cash, lump sum cash, and also monthly cash flow. D is for depreciation. Those of you who don't know what depreciation is, it's a tax credit against your earned income. It's one of those businesses that the government gives you money just for owning real estate. I don't know of any other business that they give you credit, or very many, so to say. And E is for equity. Equity buildup through mortgage reduction. And the difference between equity buildup and appreciation is when the property value goes up. Here's the thing. Today, if you buy a house and it's worth $100,000 and you put $10,000 down, there's many no money down technique as well. Let's say that you put a $10,000 or $20,000 down and you've got an $80,000 mortgage. No one has a crystal ball that whether in 10 years from now, whether this house is going to be worth $101,000 or $200,000 or $90,000. But one thing, in 10 years, I can guarantee you is that $80,000 mortgage is going to keep going down. even if the 10 years from now the property is still worth 100,000, the 80,000 is going to go down to 40 or less, and depending on the amortization schedule. So that is the equity buildup. But however, if the property value goes up from 100 to 150, that's appreciation. So you get equity buildup and through appreciation. And the best part of the equity buildup, guess who paid for that house, paid off that mortgage? Yes, you guessed it, your tenant. And finally, leverage. This is the most leveraged business that I know of. What is your return on investment if you don't have any of your cash into the business? You didn't invest a single dime. We're going to share with you many ways that you can do that, so you can literally have infinite returns in this business. So join real estate, because real estate is the most ideal business. And I'm going to give you my first deal. And I shared with you how I got into real estate, because I literally, out of desperation, there was nothing else I could do. I went to Russ's introductory seminar and came out of that. And here's my very first deal before, and here's the after in 30 days. Less, actually 21 days. And this is, and I'm going to share with you because I want to prove it to you why real estate is the ideal business, and I'm going to prove it to you why it's ideal. And here it is, 3937 9th Avenue South in St. Pete. And I purchased it, my very first house, literally on December 29th of 1999. I wanted to so bad. I told my mentor, I said, I want to buy before the millennium, new millennium. So I could say that I've been in real estate since the last millennium. And I paid $19,000 for this house. And construction started on the 2nd of January. Of course, all my guys were totally hungover, so they wouldn't work. I was ready. On the 21st, it was done. I spent about $12,000, and my purchase price plus renovation was about $31,000. And the moment I finished, I got an FHA appraisal for $65,000. And so here's an interesting thing, that with adversity, there's always a seed for opportunity. And the truth is, after I finished it, I could not sell it. There was a tenant buyer who said they wanted to buy it for $65,000 because she was living there, and I made the house completely brand new. And so I had to do, out of desperation, I went to the real estate investors club locally, and I said, hey, this is my situation. And somebody suggested that, why don't you go get an equity cash out loan, because I used my credit card to buy this house because I didn't have any money. Literally with my last Amex card, because it didn't have any preset spending limits, I used it to buy this house and all the funding of it. So I went to the First Union Bank, and I got an 80% cash out, refinance the property. So 80% of 65 is $52,000. So think about it. My profit was $20,000, and this was tax deferred because it was a loan. And I still had 20% equity left. And my property, I did a lease option. That means I had zero maintenance on this property. She was purchasing it, and she gave me, I believe, $2,000 down and about $650 a month. My payment was $429.93, and my monthly cash flow was $222.07. That's my very first deal. And now what I want you to do is fast forward 6 years. 6 years later, she's been paying every month. But 2 months, all of a sudden I don't get the payment. In the middle of the night, she left. I go to the house and I find out, yes, you guessed it, it was an absolute total mess. But here is the upside. Listen, 6 years ago, everything was brand new. I put a new roof. So do I need a new roof? No. Do I need new AC? No. Do I need new kitchen? No. Do I need new any of the major bathrooms? No. Only thing I needed, the house was really all trashy, so I took all the trash out and did new paint and carpet. It's a 650 square feet. This time I forgot, I didn't even put the carpet, I just tiled the whole place so that I won't have to do it again. And I spent about $3,000 to fix it again, and I did it all over again. But here, I wanted to give you a recap. 6 years ago, I got $20,000 about net cash after the refinance. Then I got $14,400 in the last 6 years because I'm at 220, I just rounded off to 200, and so you see the math over there. So I got about $2,400 a year, but for 6 years I got another $14,000 in rent, or sorry, the difference between my payment and the mortgage, and then I've got $12,000 in equity buildup by mortgage reduction, and this is what I mean by that. 6 years ago, or 6 years after, I called my bank. I said, hey, remember you gave me a loan for $52,000? They said, wow, your balance is now $40,000 and change. Who paid that $12,000 down? She did. She gave me the money and I paid it off. So now I got $12,000 in equity, and of course, and $13,000 equity remaining because the appraisal back then was $65,000. So I still have another $13,000. And then once I fixed the house again, I called my FHA appraiser, and he came and appraised it. It came out at $105,000. So $40,000 in appreciation from this one house. In 6 years, $99,400 grand total, and this does not even include the depreciation benefit and the leverage that we talked about. So now let's fast forward. Let's look at why the ideal business. I said eyes for income. Did I get income? Absolutely. I got cash and I got cash flow. Depreciation. Did I get depreciation for owning it? Yes, I did. Did I get equity buildup? Of course, the $12,000. Did I get appreciation? Of course I got appreciation. Did I get leverage? Absolutely. 100%, because once I refinanced, I paid off my credit card, so I have zero of my own money into the deal anymore. Wow, what a business. So if you're thinking of creating financial freedom in your life, there's no better way than real estate as a vehicle for financial freedom. And anything you want to learn in life, whether it's real estate, be an ideal parent, or a language, anything you want to learn, just a hobby, you want a woodworking, anything, there are two ways to go about it. The first way is this. First way is called the school of what? You got it. Hard knocks. And in my seminars, I typically ask, how many of you got their masters? Typically, few people raise their hands and go, yes, I've got a PhD from there, the school of hard knocks. And yes, but another more efficient way of learning is called modeling success. And this is what we learned when I first joined Tony Robbins. At Robbins Research, what we did is we studied, I'm a student of success, and that's what Tony Robbins did. He studied successful people and found out why they're successful, why someone is successful and someone is not. And so anytime you want any result, find out somebody who's gotten that same result and then go model them. Then the next question is, how do you go about modeling success? I'm going to give you, I don't have the time, but I'm going to give you the two absolute fundamental principles of modeling. And if you want to model, and 9 out of 10 times, if I ask somebody that, hey, if you want to model someone successful, what are you going to do? What's your first step? Typically they tell me that, well, I'm going to ask them, what do you do? How do you become successful? Wrong question. The first thing, think about it. In this seminar, any seminar that you go to, the teacher is the same, the course material is the same, the training time is the same, everything is the same except the result. Since everything is the same, the result is different, it must be something more than all of the things that you can see. So the first thing you want to model out of the two things, two fundamental principles, is belief. Is their belief about what is it that they're doing? And if you want to know what a belief is nothing but a feeling of certainty. Feeling of certainty. Underline the word certainty, because stronger the certainty is, stronger the belief is, the faster it's going to manifest. And I'm going to share with you a powerful example of belief from history. How many of you know who was the first person to break the 4-minute mile? Of course, this is a Trivial Pursuit, one of the top questions. Roger Bannister. And a lot of people know that story. And he was the first person to break the 4-minute mile. Then I asked, up until he did it, what used to be the prevailing belief about the 4-minute mile? It was physically what? You guessed it, impossible. It was physically impossible to break the 4-minute mile. Then one day Roger Bannister did it. Most of you know the story. But my real question is, how many people broke the 4-minute mile within the first year after he did it? Yes. Literally, the numbers I've read from 36 to 72. But today in high school track record, 4-minute miles are broken. My real question is, all of a sudden, on that day, when the first time Roger Bannister did it, what changed? No, not steroids. People's perception. They believed it can be done. So if you want to run a 4-minute mile that nobody has done before and you want to go, the first thing you have to adopt is Roger Bannister's belief that if he can do it, so can I. If I can do it, so can you. And before you embark into this journey, this is the key to your success. Adopt the belief system of the successful people. And you know what? Another thing is, you'll find, as I said, I study successful people, and people collect things, I collect beliefs. I literally collect beliefs. And if I speak to you for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I'll be able to predict your future. No, not because not in a crystal ball way, and not in the short term, but in the long term. Because your beliefs, when you speak to me, I'm going to be uncovering your beliefs. And your beliefs are like the software. Literally, it runs you. If your beliefs are like your software and it runs you, when was the last time you had an update? You update your software all the time. When was the last time you updated your BS? Yes, belief system. Most of our belief system is BS that's holding us back. And when you talk to successful people, another point I want to make is that you'll find that their belief is pretty different from the average people. And sometimes it may even be kind of eccentric. But don't ask yourself, is that right or is that wrong? Because there's no right or wrong belief. There's only two kinds of belief, empowering belief or limiting beliefs. Let me tell you an example of what I mean by empowering versus limiting, or why there's no right or wrong belief. I typically ask this question that, hey, if someone believes that people are bad, that if you give them half a chance, they'll take advantage of you, another person believes people are good, who is right? Now the answer I get is that both right, neither is right, or those are not the answer. The real answer is the one that you believe is the one that's right for you. That's a real answer. Because if you believe people are good, I can take you right now in the middle of a war-ravaged country, whether it's Afghanistan or Iraq, I bet you'll find good people. There's one good person, you'll find that good person. And if you find that people are bad, first of all, they're probably speaking from their personal experience. That's why they're saying people are bad, all the experience that they have had, so they're right from their experience. So empowering versus limiting belief, and I'll give you an example of right or wrong. Famous American comedian Will Rogers, he had a very interesting belief that a stranger is a friend I haven't met yet. A stranger is a friend I haven't met yet. When I read that, that's a belief. And I say to myself, I'm about to go on the road. I used to travel 48 weeks out of the year. Every person I meet will be a stranger. If I approach them with a belief that they're out there to get me versus it's a friendship waiting to be developed, will my energy flow be different? Absolutely. I would rather go through life believing every stranger is a friend, and in the process, let a couple of people take advantage of me, than go through life with walls and not let anyone touch me. Know that there will be exceptions, but don't let the exceptions rule your life. My old boss, my first boss at Tony Robbins, a dear friend, Michael Hutchison, he used to say that, that in this world, there's only 3 bad people. In this, because he called me up and said, hey, you're going to travel a lot, and I want you to know that in general, people are good, but in this entire world, there's only 3 bad people. The problem is, they travel a lot. You seem to find them wherever you go. So adopt their belief system, and what I'm going to give you, after you adopt their belief system of the successful person, then you need their strategy, how they did it. And if you want to know what a strategy is nothing but a recipe. Think about a recipe, and you'll know what a strategy is. It's step by step to get the same result, or a very similar result. And so now, I'm going to share with you the empowering beliefs that I have sort of gleaned and I've captured from all the successful real estate investors that I have met. And I promise you, I personally know the biggest real estate gurus in this country. and they're members of my Winner Circle mastermind group. It is the largest real estate guru mastermind that I created back in 2007, and all of them, who's who, they're in my personal speed dial, so they used to come and we used to sit down in a room and a small group interact. So I used to be able to pick their brains. So I'm going to give you some empowering beliefs that if you adopt this as your key beliefs, as foundation, you will absolutely have no choice but become successful. So here's some empowering beliefs about real estate. Number one, price cures all. Price cures all. In real estate, don't look at a house and say, oh my God, this house is absolutely terrible. I'm going to never buy it. No, you'll buy every single house, every single property. There is a price that will become the right price for that particular house. I have bought houses that the only reason that house was standing is because the termites were holding hands. And otherwise, and I found it later on, but because the price that I paid, it became worth it and I made money. So price, no matter if it's a sinkhole property, no matter how bad, I bought hurricane damaged houses because the price was right. There is a price that you can buy and you can flip it and make money. So number one rule of real estate is price cures all. Don't be afraid of making a low offer for the price, for the condition of the property. Number two, in real estate, you make money when you buy it. You realize it when you sell it. If you buy it wrong, it's an uphill battle from day one. So it's critical to buy it right. And that's when you can have multiple options for exit strategy. And the more exit strategies that you have, the better off you are, the more powerful you will be, and you'll be guaranteed that you'll make money. And this is probably not easy to comprehend for beginner real estate investors, that money always followed the deal. So if you say that I don't have money, you don't have to have money. If you find the right deal, money will follow you. So work on finding the deal and get a screaming deal, and if nothing else, go to your local RIA club, RIA organization, and stand up and say, I've got this property, I don't have any money, who wants to join venture with me? You'll see how many hands go up, I promise you. And if it's a bad deal, that you're thinking it's a screaming deal, those experienced people that'll be the greatest experience that you have. They'll tell you why this deal is not a screaming deal as you thought. Then go find a better one. So money always follows the deal. And here's another really empowering belief about real estate investing, that you're one good deal away from financial independence. You're one good deal away from quitting your job. You're one good deal away from paying off your bills. You're one good deal away from turning the corner. If you approach every deal with this feeling, with this thought, that this is that deal, it makes life interesting. And I'll give you a good example of how I approach my real estate investing business and every single deal after doing hundreds, if not by now thousands of real estate deals. I remember in the early days, FedEx had a great commercial. The commercial was not very successful. You know, their tagline, the commercial went like this. You know, when you absolutely positively want it tomorrow, use FedEx. After that, they came up with this new ad campaign. It's called the Golden Package. The Golden Package, and the commercial says, hey, of all the packages that FedEx has ever delivered in the company's history, this one package, this is the Golden Package, that they must deliver this absolutely to the right person and right on time. So the entire company is geared for this Golden Package. And the story goes, FedEx lost the Golden Package. Since this was the most important package, it got lost. Now, the flip side of that is they must treat every package as the Golden Package because they don't know which one it is. So if you approach with that, every house, every deal, every person that you speak to, I approach my life like that the next person, the next accident that I have, there's a reason why it happened, and that's what's going to turn my life around. It makes life interesting. So you're one good deal away from turning with real estate. And many people that I know that have done that. The most I have made from one particular deal is about $650,000 from one single deal. And so $5,000, $2,000, I've lost money. so that one good deal, how many deals like that you need? Real estate is the most forgiving business. This is another empowering belief. In order to make money in real estate, you don't have to do everything right. One of the good friend and real estate mentor, he used to talk about that, hey, you know what? I bought 30 years ago, I bought properties in the wrong neighborhood, I overpaid them, I got the wrong kind of financing, and 30 years later, they call me a genius because somehow, only good thing I did is I hung on to it. 30 years later, the mortgages were paid off, the wrong neighborhood became the right neighborhood, property not doubled, quadrupled, and they think I'm a genius. I did everything wrong. So in real estate, you don't have to do everything right to make money. Isn't that comforting? I mean, God, if I had to make everything right, I probably wouldn't be standing here before you. All the mistakes you can make, chances are I've already done it, so you can just learn. And finally, in real estate, you buy and sell to create cash, but you buy and hold to create wealth. You'd never get wealthy just from buying and selling. You will never get all the benefit of ideal just by buying and selling. You'll get all of those benefits by buying and holding. So in the beginning, however, I will recommend you do buy and sell, wholesaling to create cash if you don't have cash. But if you already have cash, you have a job, and you have steady income, then go for the buy and hold strategy for long-term cash flow, passive income, and that's what we're all after. So these are a few empowering beliefs about your real estate success. If you want to become successful in real estate, these are the things behind the scenes that I promise you no real estate course will ever tell you that I have found. This is from my personal background in the personal development, personal growth arena that I have gleaned from all the successful people in real estate investing to give you this perspective on behind the scenes of what it takes to become successful in the real estate business. And if you want to know the biggest barrier to your success, and I'm telling you that I've done, I can do an entire all-day seminar on just on this topic, and I have. The biggest barrier to your success is your belief that it's possible. Is your belief that it's possible. The stronger your belief is, the faster it'll manifest. And so all these empowering beliefs that I'm talking about, this is the foundation of your success in this business. So adopt the beliefs of the successful investors, and then you'll see how powerful you become as a real estate investor. The real estate investing part is easy. That's because it's a simple formula you just do over and over again, and there's nothing to it. But this, you have to do it on a daily basis. You have to take what Zig Ziglar used to say, take a checkup from the neck up and play. It's a mindset game. So if you want to learn about real estate investing, you can categorize this entire real estate investing business into 5 categories. And I call it the 5 F's of real estate investing. And here's the first 5. First F is called find it. Second, fund it. Third, fix it. Fourth, flip it. Or fifth, flow it. In other words, cash flow it, meaning buy and hold it. So find it, fund it, fix it, flip it, or basically keep it for cash flow. And anything you want to talk about real estate, anything will fall into one of these 5 categories. And so I asked this question to if they're brand new people, that of these 5, which one do you think is the most important of these 5? Typically, I mean, if I were in a live audience, most people will say funding. Let that be our secret. People think that because they don't have any money, they can't get into real estate. Because if they knew that money is not the biggest problem, everybody would be in it. Remember I said empowering belief that money follows the deal, not the other way around. There are more people with money, not more people with deals. So the most important thing if you want to make money is focus on finding, get good at finding deals, get good at finding buyers, and then everybody will be chasing you as opposed to the other way around. So today, I don't have to, obviously in this, I won't have time to go give you all of that, and you will need 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can make unbelievable amount of money, and I'm talking about 7 figures just focusing on the first F, find it. So let me give you some ideas about the finding deals part. That if you want to find deals, there are 3 categories of deals. I call it finding deals in the wilderness zone, finding deals in the profit zone, and finding deals in the real deal zone. Real deal zone. So what do I mean by wilderness, profit, and the deal zone? Here's what I mean by wilderness zone. Number 1. The wilderness zone is if you want to buy a house from a real estate agent, their job is to market that property as wide as they can to as many people as they can. So if you have a house that's been marketed to everyone, are you going to get the best deal from there, or about a house that no one knows about, the realtor doesn't know about? Of course, house that no one knows about it. So having said that, let me also tell you that this wilderness zone, before I even describe it, that having said that every single day, you and I and all real estate investors are finding awesome, killer deals through real estate agents, but they're typically not your screaming deals every day. So typically, real estate agents or brokers, local newspapers, for the same reason, they're advertising. The whole world knows about it. When the whole world knows about it, the deal is gone. Or it's harder, it's more competition. So local newspapers or banks, mortgage finance companies, and again, every one of these categories, foreclosure services, the success of the foreclosure service is more people they can get to subscribe their services, the more successful they are, the less successful you are, because that many more people are working the same list. So think about it logically. That is the wilderness zone. So yes, do I work on it? Every single day. Every single day we're making offers for real estate agents, MLS, we're local newspapers. I have a aggregator called Land Voice. They bring all of them together. Bank, mortgage company list, foreclosure listing services that I subscribe to, all of those things. So this is great. However, this is not where the real deals are. So then let's go to the second category, the profit zone. So what's the profit zone? The profit zones are private lenders. Think about it. Private lenders, how to find it, well, that's another topic, but just think about it. If private lenders, they lend money, they're just like banks, and if they're in the business of lending money, they're not in the business of doing houses. They don't want to get their hands dirty. Will they occasionally take a house back? Of course, if they're in the business, it's just a matter of time. If they haven't done it, it's just they haven't lent enough. When they take a house back, they've already sort of made money on the points and everything else at the beginning. So if you connect with your private lender, you're going to get a screaming profit. You know that guaranteed you're going to make money because now they want to put the house out again. I contact all my private lenders and say that if you ever take a house back, call me and I'll take it over no matter what condition they left it. Because in the middle of the thing they left it, and so they had to foreclose and take it back. So private lenders is a profit. Title companies. And I was told that title companies, I don't know if the statistic is true or not, but I heard that 10% of the deals fall apart literally at the title company, at the closing table. 10%, that's a lot of deals. So even if it is 1%, it's still too many, if you look at the number of deals that are happening. And if you let your title company know that you're a cash buyer, and the fastest house I ever bought was I got a call at around 10 o'clock when the deal fell apart. My title company called me and I bought that house at 5 p.m. that same day. Literally, this was a retail house that was worth $300,000 and I bought it for $220 that same day. And within 1 week, I sold it for $325 in 1 week. Because I didn't have to do anything. All I put a bandit sign in front of the house, and they already had backup buyers. Because long story short, if we see each other, ask me, I'll give you details of what happens when a deal falls apart in the title company, the heartache, that emotional turmoil that goes through from the buyer side, the seller side, and they have to. And think about it, that when somebody buys a house or selling a house, they've already bought another house. Meaning they put there and waiting for the money from this house to buy the next one. And if they don't, if it doesn't close, they lose their deposit. And all kinds of chain reaction happens that they have to get out. So $220 was a good deal. They took money and left. And just for a quick title company, it's a guaranteed profit. Property managers. Network with property managers because they're the first ones to know for when a burned out landlord or the landlord needs money. They're the first ones that, hey, you're managing the property, can you sell it for me? And if the property manager is not in the selling business, then you're a buying business, you network with them and say that, hey, if any of your property landlords want to sell, call me. And you'll guarantee you're going to find, because they're investors and they know that to sell to another investor, they have to give them a deal. So it's a guaranteed profit. City code enforcement. This is another my favorite strategy to buy houses, because houses with code enforcement or literally condemned list, these are the houses that are readily available, and a city has lists of these houses, every city, at least in my area, and you can find out those sellers or owners will be motivated sellers, and you can deduct. And if they have liens, code enforcement liens against the property, and they have fines. And I literally last month I bought a house that had $58,000 of city lien. Of course, out of that $58,000, and I negotiated down to $800 and change. So think about it. I bought the house for $2,500 and subject to those $58,000 liens. So of course the seller wouldn't have got $58,000, wouldn't have been able to come up with it. So when he got $2,500, he was happy, and I knew that I could negotiate all the liens. So 25 plus the 800 and plus some back taxes, it really ended up $5,000 or $6,000 for the house, but the actual purchase price was 25. So code enforcements are a great opportunity to buy houses. And then appraisers. Appraisers also know, they're the first ones people call when they're willing to sell a house. They want to know what their house is worth. So network with appraisers, and they can find, if the seller cannot wait, you can bet a quick sale. Hey, don't have to wait and for 6 months to buy and advertise and close, list it through realtors. I can buy it now. I'm a cash buyer. So appraisers are another great deal for profit zone. Now, the third category of the real deal zone, where you'll find the real deals, the attorneys. These are, if you have to network, the bankruptcy attorney, the divorce attorney, the probate, the estate, people who handle people's estates. These people, if you network with them, because sometimes they take these cases, all their cases on contingency. They don't want the house, they want their money is contingent upon selling the house. That's how they're going to pay for the attorney. So they want to sell it quickly. When there's a divorce, husband and wife, they want the house. They don't want the house, they had bad memories. They just want some money and out. And sometimes one of them is so spiteful, they want to sell the house just to spite the other person. I have a good friend, he's actually my business partner. His ex-wife sold their $6.5 million house for $3 million just to get back at him. And I was talking to him, he says, you know what, I never cried when anything, but that day when she did that to me, she sold it for $3 million, and she knew that I didn't have the money, and I cried. It was his dream home. So just to get back at him. So bankruptcy, this is where the money is deal. Bail bonds. First thing, when people get arrested, only thing that they have is their house to mortgage to get the bail money. And then of course, if they skip town, the bail bondsman is left holding the house as a collateral. They don't want the house, they want their money so that they can go and do their business again. So you get another deal. Health and senior services, same thing, is that they have come there and now their only asset is their house. They can't pay, they're 3-4 months behind on their payment. They have to sell their house quickly to get their money. And bird dogs, mailmen, meter readers, cable guys, city workers, FedEx guys, phone guy, termite inspectors, leads club. These are finding deals that if you can find through this network, you're almost guaranteed absolutely a screaming deal. And I love to network. Whenever I go to canvass a neighborhood, these are the people I look for. I look for the mailman's truck, because think about it, that guy or that person, lady, they do the same route for the umpteen years. They have an exact route, every house they know. So the first thing they know that mailbox is full, they cannot deliver the mail, so that person has skipped town. They cannot, and they never left a forwarding address or anything else. So that's a drive-bys. tracking vacant and boarded up houses, or any kind of house that's been distressed that you can physically see. Number 14 is, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail for you so that you know exactly how you can find deals on demand. So finding deals, the real deal zone, I talked about the last one, number 14, which is drive-bys. This is the most profitable and the lowest cost way you can find a deal. I take my students literally in the car to drive with me to show them how we can find deals on demand on that day and find vacant boarded up houses. These are typically, one hint is that you're gonna, here's the sort of, let me give you the point. Select a city grid. It's gonna be in the lower income part of the neighborhood or the city that where you live. And it's not gonna be in a gated community. So you wanna find and create that grid, and typically go in pairs. Have a partner go with you so that one is driving, the other one is taking notes, writing down, and anytime you're driving by, see a house that looks like vacant, tall grass, and boarded up, fire damage, blue tarp on the roof, all kinds of ways that tells you the property is distressed. There's two things. Either the owner has to be distressed or the property has to be distressed in order for us to get a deal. Typically, the owner, you can't tell sometimes by looking at it because they can mask it. However, the property, if it's distressed, you can look at it. So you track also the realtor listed homes. When you're driving, you'll see some realtor signs, and the reason you're going to call them is they're going to, when you call and ask them what the house is they're asking for, and if you look at the house, if it is a house that needs repair, you already know what the market is for this. If the house is completely done up in that street, then you know what a house, when it's completely done, how much what the market is asking right now. So that's for market research, not so much to buy. But this is another great thing. If you're driving, if you see a for rent sign, that's my favorite. I call that for rent sign, and first thing, and I say, I call, and I say, I'm calling about your house for sale. And they go, house for sale? Yeah. If they hesitate, you just found a burned out landlord because they can't sell it, that's why they're renting it. And you'll find a deal there. And if they're really renting it, they'll tell you that no, it's not for sale, it's for rent. If they say, always, when you call someone, ask them, do you have anything else? Do you have another house? And track vacant, boarded up, tall grass houses, track vacant lots. And vacant lot strategy is simply, when you're driving around, if you see a builder building a house, take that builder's name, because if they don't have lots, they won't be able to build their next house. So you ask them and look at the public record how much they paid for that particular lot, and then get another lot just below that, and you have a buyer already. And track FSBOs, for sale by owners. If you see any FSBOs, you're speaking directly to the seller, and I love it because now you can make a deal with the seller. And anytime I buy a house, I tell the seller, there are two things, Mr. Seller, when I buy a house, price or terms. If you name the price, I'll name the terms. If you name the terms, I'll name the price. Whichever you want, I want the other. And you have the first choice. Sometimes they look at me like, what am I talking about? I simply say that, hey, sometimes if you say that, hey, I want $100,000, not a penny less, you just name the price. Then I'll name the term. Maybe I'll pay $1,000 for 100 months. That's still $100,000 if you want to accept my terms. And if he accepts it, $1,000 for 100 months, and you can tell that, hey, typical mortgage is 360 months, I'm paying you $1,000. And even if the rent is $800, if you're paying him $1,000, you're building equity fast because this becomes an interest-free loan. We didn't even talk about interest. So it's a principal reduction loan. And the second part is if they say that, hey, I'm none of your investor creative financing BS, I want hard, cold cash. I don't want any kind of seller. They just name the terms, then I'll name the price. So FSBO, I love it. And when you're driving, have your car magnet signs that we buy houses and your phone number, because it helps when you're driving slow through a neighborhood and people get suspicious. But if you have those magnet signs, people now know what you're doing. As a matter of fact, it will happen to you. People will start running after you, and you think they're chasing you. No. And you stop, and they say, hey, it happened to me. I said, sir, you buy houses? I see. He said, yes, because my cousin over there next block, he's looking to sell their house. Or my aunt is over on the other side selling her house. Can you help her? So you'll pick up leads if you have that magnet sign on your car. And So once you drive around, once you get all of those houses, then first you compile the list. Create an Excel spreadsheet with a name, and by the way, when you're driving, make sure you put a remark right next to it why you are writing down that house. You're going to forget. But this day and age, if you got your phone or you got your camera, take a picture of the house, the one that you just wrote down. That it'll trigger you of why you took that list, that particular house. Name the address of the house, and if you cannot find the address of the house because it's missing, take down the address on either side or across the street, and then you can go to the county appraiser's website and find the plat map to find the address of the property that you're looking for. So once you've compiled the addresses, then your job is to check the property appraiser's website to find the owner's name and the address. If the owner's name and the owner's mailing address is different, property address and the mailing address is different, you know it's an investment property. If it's one and the same and the house is vacant, that means this owner has skipped town. Those are highlighted. Those, go after those, definitely. Highlight, those are called abandoned properties. So highlight them. Subscribe to peoplefinder.com. PeopleFinder is a website you subscribe to. It's very inexpensive, $20 a month. That'll help you. If you put the name, it gives you the phone number and their email. And of course, you get multiple people with the same name. If it's a common name, you have to just match the address and then call the phone numbers that's listed. If the phone numbers are invalid or incorrect, then you have to do mail to their last address that you have on the county appraiser's website. So find, and then all those abandoned properties, or you can't find mailing address if it comes back, then hire what we call skip tracer or a private investigator to find the owner. It's worth it. And if you can find them, chances are will just deed the property over to you because they walked away. If they get $100, that's $100 more than they would have gotten. Or you can just give them what's fair and just take over. Give them. Most people have just emotionally written it off. They won't want to deal with it. So just you have to keep after them. Then let me help you. And this is not going to just go away by itself. I'll do all the work, and then we can share the profit, whatever you want to do, but be fair to them and do it. And this is literally a picture of a mailman that I gave a check for $1,000, and he didn't believe me. Literally in South St. Pete, I was driving and I saw the mailman, and I gave him my card that if you find a house vacant, please call me. And he did call me, but it took me about 2.5 months to find that owner, to close the deal. Then I called him to my office. That's his wife. They came and I gave him a check. And I had partners in the deal and stuff. One of the students brought the deal. So after splitting, so this is real. That postman, this screaming deals are happening. And so, question. This is my second go around. That in the early 2000s, just the go-go days of real estate, and now I have come back in real estate again, and the new paradigm of real estate investing success. I'm going to ask you some questions. Number one is, do you think it's better to find a great property or focus on finding buyers first? If you find a screaming deal, or do you want to find buyers first? If you've flipped a property recently, if you've ever flipped a property, did you buy the property or did you find a buyer first? If you're new to real estate, what are you working on right now? Finding properties or finding buyers? What are you working on? Here's the new paradigm of real estate success. Finding deals before you find buyers, regardless of how great they are, is the number one reason wholesalers and investors lose money or don't maximize their profit. Let me repeat it. Finding deals before you find buyers, regardless of how great they are, is the number one reason why wholesalers and investors lose money or don't maximize their profit. And I'm going to give you the new paradigm for success. New paradigm for success. The old paradigm, the old rule was find highly motivated sellers. And the new rule is find highly motivated buyers. And why? Because if you just buy the house first, ask any investor that they've done the business in a while, that they will have, if you buy the house, you're speculating. And when you do speculation, that's when you lose money or you don't maximize your profit, because your unsold inventory or your holding cost will eat up your profit, and higher the price category, the faster your profit will erode. And you'll have good months followed by bad months, and it's a cyclical month when you have this kind of attitude of buying properties first. And it'll give you inconsistent or poor cash flow at best. So once you have this mentality of new paradigm of buyers first, then you'll see you'll never have unsold inventory, you'll never have cash flow issues. Like if you have no sale, that's a different category, but finding buyer first. But let me tell you why eager and qualified buyers is a new currency. Because I've been taught when I got into this business that finding motivated sellers is the key to this business. Yes, of course you'll make money if you find motivated sellers, not that you won't. But why are we working so hard to buy properties at a discount? Why? Goal is not to buy properties at a discount. Our goal is to make money. And you don't need to find desperate sellers to make money. Any seller can make you money if you have the right buyer first. Think about it. If you qualify the buyer, whether they're an investor buyer or they're end buyers, and if they're qualified, they tell you exactly what they're looking for, what their buy criteria is, and then you just go, fine. If someone tells you, I want to buy a $100,000 house, 3-2, so-and-so neighborhood, you can buy a house at $99,000 and make money. So, of course, if we can, we'll buy it at 90. Normally, if a house is worth $100,000, we as investors will never pay $90,000 to buy that house. We probably will buy it at 80 or better. More like 65 to 75% is what we will buy that property. However, think about it. If you want to make money quick, the speed of the game, speed of particle alone determines power. So that if you can turn a house quickly, somebody just came to you that I want to buy a house for $100,000 and they're ready now, and you go out and you find a house and the buyer likes the house and they want $100,000, and of course you make an offer for $75,000, that seller is not motivated, but there's a very good chance that that seller may sell the house for $90,000 instead of $75,000. But if you buy it for $90,000, you can make a quick $10,000 and be out. Speed in the first week. So here is a bigger game, and I read this book called The Power of Full Engagement. Phenomenal book if you get a chance, and it gave some really wonderful mind shift that will help you in today if you want to become successful, what the mind shifts mindset are. The old paradigm versus the new paradigm. So in the old paradigm, think about it, manage time. So if you want to be a good real estate investor, you cannot be successful without being a good time manager. However, that's the old paradigm that you need to manage your time. The new paradigm is not managing time, it's managing your energy. Managing your energy. And the old paradigm is life is a marathon. The new paradigm is life is a series of sprints. Life is a series of sprints. No, you cannot go. In real estate, one of my mentor and good friend, Ron LeGrand, that's who I heard first, he used to say that you can't steal in slow motion. You got to sprint. If you find a screaming deal, you better run before someone else gets it. So it's a series of sprints. And in the old paradigm, the downtime is wasted time. The new paradigm is downtime is productive time. Downtime is renewal time. I'm a personal trainer. I work out 5 days. Why not 7 days? Because those 2 days are not downtime that are wasted. Those 2 days are needed for renewal. And those 2 days are not 2 consecutive days in between the 2 muscle groups that I'm working on if they need rest. So strategically we've placed 2 sort of rest days in the 5-day workout routine. And it's phenomenal. Without those downtime, I will never progress as much. In the old paradigm, I would first say, oh my God, I'd probably be wasted. If I work 7 days, I'll get further ahead. No, you'd get behind because you'll have injury. You'll injure and you cannot work out for 2 weeks, so you fall behind. So you take that rest to build in. Downtime is productive time. Rewards fuel performance. Think about the old carrot. They dangled a carrot. That's what fueled performance. No. The new paradigm is not rewards fuel performance, purpose fuels performance. Purpose fuels performance. We never get burned out from working hard. We get burned out when we forget the purpose of why we're doing what we're doing. The old paradigm is self-discipline rules. The moment you say the word discipline, it kind of reminds me of the army, that it's the drill sergeant, that the big D, known as the big D. That was the old personal development. Hey, you cannot become successful without the self-discipline. That's why self-discipline rules. The new paradigm of success is not self-discipline, rituals rule. Rituals rule. I have my morning ritual, I have my evening ritual, I have my questions ritual. And these are very strategically placed in your life to help you. And the old paradigm was the power of power of positive thinking. Of course, the famous book, Power of Positive Thinking, Norman Vincent Peale. And the new paradigm is not the power of positive thinking, it's the power of full engagement. The power of full engagement. That when you're doing something, when you're doing, a good friend of mine is doing a political campaign, and I can tell that when he's in it, he is in it with the full power of engagement. That's why he's created, because it's a short period of time. You cannot be a marathon. So remember I said life is a series of sprint? It is a sprint. You have certain time, you gotta go with full engagement, and it's a sprint to get that, and then you coast, and then find the next sprint. And finally, let me give you the real success, the real secret of real estate success. I do a seminar where I called it Learning How to Make Money Without Using Your Cash, Credit, or Contacts. So if you don't need your money, your credit, your contacts, what do you really need to become successful? What you need is, number one, specialized knowledge. Actually, it's not probably the one or the other. I believe before even specialized knowledge is you have to have the burning desire. So you can switch this to, number one is, I would say, burning desire. You have to have the burning desire. Show me how bad you want it, and I'll show you a successful person. If the fire that's burning inside of you, I cannot take a fire hose and douse it. That's the kind of fire I'm talking about. And once you have that kind of a burning desire, it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. No matter how many times you fall apart, you're going to get up, you're going to get it. And so next thing, once you have that burning desire, next thing you need is specialized knowledge. There is no exception. And I told you my story that I got into it because of desperation, not inspiration. When I went to the first seminar, it was one of those free seminars, but it was free to get in, but not free to get out. You've been to one of those free seminars? And when I got out of there, I spent $22,000 that I didn't have. I put it on my credit card. I didn't have it. I remember to this day that I looked around, I went there by myself, they said you can bring a partner. And because I didn't bring a partner, I was looking around that could I find a partner to split this $22,000 with someone else. And I have a good friend, Clarence Roberts. To this day, his regret is, because I walked up to him and I said, hey Clarence, I introduced myself, would you like to be my partner? And so we can share it. He goes, no, I already came with someone else. So then we stayed remaining friends to this day. He jokes about it, that was his biggest mistake. And I actually found a partner, and he didn't have the money, so I said, hey, how about you make payments to me? So I still have a chance. He made few payments, and then he never followed through. And most people just, they start, and it gets difficult, they give up. And of all the things that you need to become successful, to get specialized knowledge, you can go to seminars, read books, listen to videos, tapes, all the self-help stuff that out there on the internet. Information is free. Anything that someone else is selling, including myself, you'll find it for free. But the biggest success, biggest thing that you need to become successful is a mentor or a coach. will take you further and faster than anything else. Not that you cannot do it on your own. There are people who have done it by the bootstrapping themselves and just really, but if you have a mentor, and I'll tell you my true story, is that when I got into the business, I went to the first seminar, Russ Whitney, then I went to the second seminar, the third seminar, and I was getting ready to get ready. I'm a good student, I'm a serious student, but I did not buy. It's not because I didn't have the knowledge. I was scared just like the next person. I didn't have the money, I was barely surviving. I didn't know how to, with my living off of my credit cards. And then somehow, the reason it was $22,000 is because it came with my personal mentor. And when my mentor flew into town, that's when the floodgates opened. Because you can hide in a seminar like I was hiding the first 3 months and didn't do any deal. In hindsight, looking back today, the free seminar, I didn't have to buy, they didn't hold a gun to my head, I didn't have to buy anything. They gave me enough knowledge, information, that if I went and applied those information, I would have made money. But I said, no, I cannot limit, I just learned, they just sold me this next seminar, I need to go there, then I go to the next seminar, I said, I've got this series of seminars, I need to go to learn before I was getting ready to get ready. I was almost, instead of analyzing deals, I was analyzing deals. Finally, when my mentor came to town, and he said, hey, he came to my office and he just kind of quizzed me. Within an hour, he knew that I knew the book inside and out. He gave me homework to find houses. He said, find 3 houses. I found about 9 houses. I went to so he said, let's go, we'll look at a house. The house that I showed you, I took him to that house in South St. Pete. I'm not kidding. In 5 minutes, he walked to the house. In 5 minutes, oh, come on, it's a 650 square feet home, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, doesn't take more than 5 minutes to walk. And he came out and he said, it's a good deal, buy this house. I'm like, what? You know, whose money are you talking about? Easy for you to say, huh? I said, hey, you said to have 3 houses to look at. I've got 9 houses to look at. Shouldn't we look at all the other houses and then decide if this is a good deal? What if there's a better deal out there? He goes, no, this is a good deal. Buy it. And you know what? He was trying to convince me, and I was trying to be very intellectually sophisticated, giving him logical reasons why we should look at all the other houses, blah, blah, blah. But I was afraid to tell him that I'm scared. Finally, he realized that I'm scared. So he goes to me, Roger, I'm here for you. I want to do it. I don't want to do things that you don't want to do. So let's go look at all the other houses and then come back and if we like this house. So I said, okay, fine. I said, yeah, I won. So I'm getting in the car. This one question changed my life. I'm getting in the car and he's coming around from the other side and he's asked me, I said, hey, Roger, before we go, I just want to ask you one question. He goes, I don't want you to ever think that there's a conflict of interest or I'm greedy or anything like that. I'm asking this if and only if. He goes, after we look at all the 9 houses, should you decide to pass on this house, do you mind if I buy it? I said, what? I said, hold on. His name was Mark. I said, Mark, I picked you up from the airport and you flew in from Michigan. You've never been here before. He goes, no, I've never been here before. He goes, you can come and in 5 minutes make a decision. It's not about buying a gallon of milk like you're going to the grocery store. We're talking about even a junker house is, thousands of dollars. He goes, you're willing to put your own money to buy this house? He goes, yes. Are you that confident? He goes, yes. Come on, if McDonald's worked there and all the conditions here, it'll work here as well. That's experience. What I didn't have is the confidence. Right there, I changed my viewpoint. I said, wow, he cares about me. It's not that he was told me to buy this house because it's my money. He's willing to put his own money. I stopped right there. I said, Mark, get out. I'm buying this house. And I bought this house. And literally, it changed my life because within the first 90 days, I bought the house next door for $22,000. Then I bought the house across the street for $250. And then I bought the house 4 houses down for $24,000. And it started snowballing from there. And with every house, I would pick up the phone, and even after the 4th one or the 5th one or the 50th one, I had the mentor to bounce my ideas. Hey, can you check? Nothing will take you further than having a coach or mentor. And if you're already an experienced investor, that you're listening to me, that you've done deals, you're an experienced investor, for you, it would be a mastermind group. It would be a mastermind group if you wanted to go to the next level, a group of experienced investors. And who you hang around with and listen to will determine your destiny. Who you hang around with and listen to will determine your destiny. And so I'm going to finish today by giving you a gift. I'm going to give you a gift, and this is my gift to you. If you're going to get into this real estate game, or if you're in it, there's a difference between buying houses and building a real estate investing business. Hey, there's a saying that even a blind squirrel will find an acorn once in a while. So I'm not talking about buying houses or making money here and there. I'm talking about building a business. In order to build a business, you need a plan. You need a strategic plan. And go to giftfromroger.com. Giftfromroger.com, and I'm going to give you that free gift of a strategy session with one of my coaches. And it's a one-on-one strategy session, and with absolutely no obligation. There's a couple of videos for you to watch, and then you decide if that helps you. If you can do it on your own, this is my gift to you. These are videos that my head coach put it up over there, and you'll see that you'll get to meet him. Go to giftfromroger.com, and what this will do is, this gift, it will, number one, clarify your vision and your direction. You have to have things in writing and strategize your actions. You'll have to upgrade your skills and bridge the gap. And you have to realize that this is all about, you are here and you want to go over there, and there's a gap. And what skill sets do you lack to get you from here to there? And then, of course, optimize your environment. Optimize your environment, we talked about, and number 5 is master your mindset. It's the inner game of success. It is the inner game of success. It'll be won or lost between, right over here between your ears. So here's my gift to you, and so I can promise you that one thing is, this is my favorite quote from Renee West. She's a friend, and she's the first female CEO of a Vegas casino. Think about a male chauvinistic world. Is there a better example than Vegas? And she's the first female CEO. I was speaking at an event in Vegas, and she spoke at the same platform right before me. And when she got off the stage, somebody asked her a question that, hey, what would be your parting wisdom? If you had to just leave, say one thing to us before you leave. And this is what she said, and I just absolutely loved it. She said, take risk. If you're waiting to be ready, you're too late. So I don't know exactly where you are in your life or what's going on in your life. At least go take this gift, take the first step, and the next one shall be revealed to you. You don't have to know all the steps. Just take the first step, which is the gift from Roger, and go. And my mentor, Tony Robbins, used to say that in the moment of your decision, your destiny is shaped. In the moment of your decision, your destiny is shaped. And a lot of people criticize and say that, hey, you know what? I didn't have a dime. I was negative net worth. And here, my last credit card, before I bought my house, I spent money on my education and my investment. People think that the real estate is the asset, and they forget that the real asset is themselves. Invest in yourself. And I promise you, you'll get that investment tenfold, hundredfold, because you'll be learned. It's like you'll learn how to fish instead of somebody giving you a fish. And if I can be of any service to you, I really appreciate the honor and the privilege of sharing my thoughts about real estate success with you. I thank you for the time. That's the biggest gift that you can give to me, and I never take it for granted, because money, I can give it back to you, but the time, when you've given me your time, you've given me a part of your life. I never take it for granted, and I respect you for that gift. And whatever you do in life, I wish you all the absolute best. Godspeed. And here's my contact information, that if you need to get in touch with me, please feel free. More than anything else, I would love to hear about your success. I hope we get to meet in person, and feel free to call me, go to Facebook, LinkedIn, connect with me, and let me know how I can be of service. Thank you. God bless.